Today we're visiting a brand new shop opened by my friends Nichols and Robert Whitley. You've seen them in some previous videos we've done where they've shown us tours of their toolboxes, tool carts, and we've had some great sit-down interviews, so go ahead and check those out. But in the meantime, we're gonna look in on them in their new shop and see what they're up to.
Big thing I want to talk about is cleaning. I've worked with many people that'll go fix an oil leak. I mean, we're talking like a $10,000 job, and they won't clean anything afterwards, and that's a problem. You know, this job right here, I'll be honest, we're only going to probably charge this guy about an hour total. That's oil change, that O-ring, and cleaning everything. So we're big about keeping things clean. You know, anyone can do it. You don't have to have a pressure washer. You don't have to have anything special. We just use an industrial degreaser you can get at Home Depot and spray it on there, wash it off, and it's all about details.
I got like great people that work with me and great people to work with, so and I just think, you know, I just thank God every day that I got such great people, because I know there's plenty of shops that don't have what I've got access to. So
Yeah, that's the truth, and it's a regular recurring conversation that we've been having these days with people, especially shop owners, how difficult it is to find good people.
Yeah.
And when you do, how difficult it is to keep them around.
Working two jobs really makes for a long day. A lot of times I don't finish up until 11 or 12, so. But the payoff is I get to be my own boss at some point. So.
You know, like this gear wrench set I got from you. I bought this to keep in the truck to when we're doing service work, when we're doing like servicing tractors and stuff like that. You don't need anything snap on necessarily super high dollar stuff. And really, I've only broken a couple things. There's stuff like this, which everyone's gonna know how this broke. This was mounted to a Milwaukee half-inch gun. It was mounted to an assault impact, basically.
You need it replaced?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and take it while you're here? And then whatever was here is missing. We don't worry about that little guy. But to get a set like this that goes all the way up to like 1.5 inches is just unheard of. Unheard of. Everyone, I'm sure, makes a set like it, but in the price point, I just can't go wrong. And this is a love-hate, but 6-point. It's love-hate. I love 12-point for, you know, tight situations, but 6-point's usually considered almost a specialty wrench these days.
It is, but yet it's stronger.
It's stronger
because it doesn't have the finer points. You're not going to strip bolts as easily.
Yeah.
And in fact, we had a conversation last night on the live stream on Jude's live stream about one guy asking why don't more people use 6-point box end wrenches.
Yeah.
Well, that's a valid question.
For brake work,
yeah,
if you're bleeding brakes, you're kind of dumb if you're not using them.
There's always that dilemma between wanting to spend the money on more tools, duplicate tools to have in different locations. The convenience factor alone makes it worth it, because what's worse than traveling somewhere and then realizing I left what I needed back at the other shop?
Yeah. Every shop needs a parts washer. Period. Simple. Anyone that doesn't know the science behind it, it's got, I think it's like almost a 50-gallon capacity down on the bottom. It's got, they have different options, but this one's got 2 heaters. It runs off a 2-phase, so 220 volts. Heats the water, close the door, and it pressurizes. There's basically this tube. It pressurizes and runs water all the way through it, even the bottom, so it'll spray up through the cage. This rotates, filters the water back through. Any oil or anything you get in there, it'll rise to the top. That's what this guy here is. It's an oil skimmer. In fact, here, we'll kick it on for just a second so you can kind of see. Oh, here, I'll just momentary. But see all the oil that's picking up? And it scrapes it right off. Bam! So that's all oil. Obviously, the water's not going to stay on it, but it's just going to skim and eventually run down into our little bucket back there. So that's how you kind of keep the water clean. There's a certain solvent that's supposed to run in it. We use a LumaClean. Basically, we throw everything in here. Like if you look at these pans, how clean they are, our drip pans, I mean, you name it, everything goes in here. We put the mop bucket in here. We put oil pans in here. We put parts in here. This here, really cool. You can hang it, throw your hardware in there. So if you're doing like an oil pan job or something, if you're doing an oil pan job or anything like that, you know, you can throw the oil pan down on the bottom, throw your parts, your bolts and hardware in there, kick this thing on for a few minutes. It does not take long, and it will get a lot clean. We try to keep this thing as clean as possible, meaning we try not to throw like straight oil in here. We run stuff through the parts washer, just a traditional solvent tank first, then into the parts washer, and it does really, really well. It's real hot. It's pretty efficient on everything but the bill.
It's probably one of those tools where it makes more money than anybody in the shop realizes. Instead of sitting at the parts washer for a couple hours washing parts, you go and knock the big stuff off. You throw that thing in there, let it run for a couple hours while you go and make money doing something else. And you come back and the part's cleaner than you could get it. You're not as messy. You don't have solvent all over you and all over it. And you have a better finished product. You've made more money. The shop's made more money. Some people look at that as an expense. I don't look at this as an expense. I look at it as a method of making more money. Right? It's like a brake lathe. It's like a lift. I mean, if you can't maximize your potential to earn income, then then you're just limited on your growth. But I think like something like a parts washer makes you more effective. A brake lathe makes you more effective. AC machines make you more effective. And this tools make you more effective. And that can debunk the whole like, well, I could survive off Harbor Freight tools. You could, but you're not going to make as much money.
We throw intake manifolds in here. An intake manifold is something that most people won't even try to clean. They just replace. I mean, we can get them super clean with this thing. Another benefit is it's so hot that when you pull a part out, it dries very, very fast. I mean, like you can physically watch it dry as you're moving it out of the tank and hit it with air, and it's done, and it's ready to install. So like if you're doing like a oil pan on a 5.3, you can get it all torn down and immediately throw it in this parts washer while you're cleaning the gaskets off the block. And by the time that's done, or by the time you're done cleaning gaskets, your parts are ready to be bolted on, and you don't have to have a porter that's over there cleaning tools or cleaning parts for you. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. I mean, our drain pans go in there. We've put tools in there. We've had jobs that are so dirty that we've put like wrenches and screwdrivers and it doesn't hurt them as when you're dealing with something you care about and metal wise, but you definitely have to pull it out and get it all dried off.
Robert and I are super fortunate to have the shop. We're able to make money out here, but we're also able to build something for the future, which I'm excited about, and Robert's excited about it. And it's, we have a partner also, so it's good to, have somebody else that, you can rely on as well. I look forward to moving out of the shop at some point.
Yeah, I mean, I think
something bigger and better. I
think we've outgrown it.
Yeah, I think we outgrew it day one, but.
Yeah, but it's like you said, we have a pretty good situation here. We have really no restrictions here. We just we keep the place clean. We take care of it, and it takes care of us for the most part. And luckily, Cass and I do get to do a lot of we do a big variety of work. I mean, just in this shop alone, we've worked on everything from hovercrafts, airplane tugs, boats.
How else the stuff we can make money with?
All right, boats. No, we didn't make money. Skid steers, equipment. Regular stuff, plus we do a lot of off-site, we do a lot of work on site for customers and stuff. So the job that we do is so much fun because every day is different. And
I can't wait till this is my full-time job again. And this time I want it to be different because I don't want to be just stuck doing the same old thing all the time. I want to be able to go out and go on site and work, and I don't want to worry about the shop because, you know, the shop shouldn't run your life. You should run the shop. You know what I mean? So.
Well, it's also nice to have. We're fortunate to have a really good list of customers and clients that kind of know how we do things. They expect a quality job, which we give them, but you know, scheduling is always easy with them, and we try to keep, you know, like, we don't deal with a bunch of people that are like a pain in the butt. You know, everyone's pretty understanding. We make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes here and there, but we cover it up. You know, we don't cover it up. We make it right. Like, we are very honest people with everyone we've dealt with, and yeah, whenever something goes wrong, you know, we're just like,
I got 10 fingers I can point at someone else.
Yeah. He did it. But no, we have a good, you know, we have a lot of expectations, you know, on the work we do as well as the people we do it for, and you know, if you don't, everyone we deal with takes care of their stuff, which makes it a lot easier. And if you're a mechanic, you'll know what I'm saying. When you work on like a pile of junk, it's real hard to appreciate whenever the owner is not appreciating. But luckily, we deal with people that are, you know, they're getting it fixed with us for a reason. You know, we're not the cheapest town shop or cheapest. We're not the cheapest shop in town.
Hey, look, it's 9:15 on Friday. Lindsay and I were up till like the wee hours of the morning yesterday. I'm not trying to make any excuses, but we're really tired. But to paraphrase the whole thing, we're really fortunate. We got this great shop to work at. We got some really easy restrictions to be out here. We're also pretty fortunate because we have a great group of customers, and it really helps out. I know a lot of places in this country aren't as lucky as we are, but we're going to take advantage of the situation the entire time we can.
Anyone who runs a business knows that to grow, it requires time and effort and money. Yeah. And sometimes it's easy to feel tapped out and like you don't have those three things. So how are you going to maximize what you have?
So this is my idea on our growth plan right now. You know, we live in the most up and coming place in the United States. There's nowhere growing any faster. The facts is facts. Our plan for growth is, you know, we want to get our own place where we can have our own shop, but I want to have more than one business, and I said this to you earlier. Yep. I want to have a business that grows, that we can, you know, pass down. But the other thing I want to do is I want to bring in people that want to learn, you know, like younger people, train them, have them go to trade school, but train them and have this constant flow of guys coming in. And if they can move on and open up their own shop, I'm going to try to help them out as much as I can. But that's the whole thing that I think a lot of shop owners miss, is like they want to be like number one and hold all these guys. And my thought on this is kind of like my thought on assistant football coaches in college. If somebody's not trying to hire your assistant football coach, then you're doing it wrong. And it's the same with employees. If somebody's not trying to hire your employees from under you, then you're doing it wrong. So, you know, that's kind of what I'd like to do, because if you could train them up and you create like a, you know, like a not necessarily a vocational school, but you have a place where guys could come and make some money, learn the way you want them to be taught. You're like a steward of the industry, right? You're like, you have to pass this forward. If you don't, then it's not going to be there. And, you know, we're going to give it, it's going to be something else we give away. You know, like Robert, I don't anticipate Robert ever going anywhere else. But if Robert said, hey, Cass, I'm going to go open up my own shop, sorry, but, you know, this is what I want to do, I'd be like, man, what can I do to help? You know, I'm not going to go like, well, I think that's a dumb idea. You know, you're not going to make it. I'd be like, how can I help you? Right? Because if it's something he wants to do, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to help somebody out. You know, It's like if another shop in town comes and says, hey, we need help with something, or same conversely, if I need help with something, and I go and ask them for just a little bit of help, you know, that's what we do. We're supposed to help each other out. We're not supposed to be like, well, it's proprietary, we're not telling you a thing. Well, that's the worst thing in the world, because nobody wins on that. You're like, everybody's going to bring it here, I'm going to charge the most. That's the worst business model on planet Earth.
We think outside the box. We got a lot of irons in the fire. You know, we do a lot of different stuff, which is the best part. I mean, like we said, we love to go on site and work on customer stuff. We also do a lot of things like buying cheap, fixing and selling for a fair price. We have people that have us go and like, hey, I've got this old truck, will y'all fix it, sell it for me, and we'll do like a commission-based thing. We do that. That's a lot of fun. I love doing that kind of stuff. Cass and I love appraising vehicles before and after work's done, and We even get in
It's
a.
always great whenever you work on it, it's worth less.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, but it's also part of the fun. Like Cass and I actually take some pride in some of our losses we've had because we've learned so much from them that we haven't repeated.
I'm the only guy on planet Earth that's lost money on Square Buddy. Is that true? Yes or no?
Well, I don't know if he's the only guy, but he's on the list and it's slim. But I was involved in that too. I got to take a hit on it. But nevertheless, you know, it's like
You got paid on that deal.
Yeah, but the point. I was the only one. But as far as growth goes, you know, if you're good at something, you got to expand on it.
What are you going to do for growth, Lindsay?
Yeah,
How are you going to
do?
handle growth?
My goal has been for a while to hire at least one other route operator. I've got 2 more trucks, and I just need people to staff them. But that's been very difficult to do. And I think that, you know, as you look to other ways to grow, I'm also looking at other related businesses that I could get involved in with little or no effort or low cost that could help me expand my offerings. So my thanks to Cass and Robert for showing us around. It's a good time just to see how their operation is getting up and running. And I am confident that we'll be doing more videos with them in the future. So keep watching because we'll have those videos coming up as well as some new air tool repair videos and some regular tools in the haul segments. So do me a favor. Click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.